Anyways, welcome back, guys. We have game number 3 coming at you. Trademark Esports versus Stay Green. Trademark up 2-1, but of course, Stay Green staying alive, BG style, as we said. And they need to win out 2 more. They won the first one, win 2 more. They are the champions. Win 1 more by tdM, that is, and they will be the champions. So that's what's on the line here. It's been an epic series as expected, and it will continue to be, Trout, I'm sure.
Hey, want to make another bet? I bet tdM's going to blind ban Moon Queen.
Well, you know what? They are in the lockpicking stage, so we'll see, Trout. Let's actually take a look at with that said. We are going to next game, Stay Green versus Trademark. Let's jump in here. Not one of my greatest transitions. All right. Trademark on the Hellborn side, Stay Green on the Legion. All right, so you said tdM banning Moon Queen.
Yeah, but at the same time, I wanted to say, though, that it's not really the Moon Queen that did them in. Like, yeah, you can think of Moon Queen, what? You had the most farm. And he actually doesn't get blind banned here. But it's just the way, nothing. We weren't betting anything. Right. Don't worry about it. Anyway, it was just the fact that tdM let Moon Queen get to that point. Like, you can be aggressive onto heroes that have massive late game. They just unfortunately didn't play it correctly, and I don't know, I still feel like had some heroes that didn't work out in the lineup.
Yeah.
So, namely the Bombardier. But anyway, new game, fresh start. They're still up 2-1. We're still 1 game away from that grand final victory.
Yep. Yeah. So really, and that's where it gets. You know, again, I always like to look at the psychological side of things here in cases like this, where so you're up 2-1 for tdM, but you could argue more the pressure is on them. I mean, they were the ones that were up 1-0 going into this. They were the ones that, they even beat Stay Green to get here in the first place to this position. So the pressure's on them in the sense, they're expected to win, especially with that advantage.
Yeah.
Especially winning the first game. So here they are, 2-0, 1 win away. I mean, if Stay Green wins this one now, sure, there's still then 1 more game to determine the ultimate winner. But you obviously with momentum and everything, it's all in favor of Stay Green, you could safely say. So if you're tdM here, again, sure, you're in the better spot ultimately when you look at the numbers and everything, but psychologically, I'm sure it maybe is on their mind at least, and something to think about here.
Yeah, and going off of that psychological route is tdM, there's no question, they have a history of kind of taking their losses way too hard. Specifically Minuts, I know he gets very, very frustrated very, very quickly. And I've seen more times than not them, if they lose a game, it'll just start to crumble. Now with Stay Green, I think it's the opposite. And if anything, you can look at last cycle's series against Q Squad, where they were actually came from the winners. They were down. They lost the first 2 games against Q Squad. It came back to win the next 2. Or wait, was it next 2?
Next 2.
Yeah, because it was best of 5. Next 2 right after that. So their resilience is very, very high. And and if you look at right now, losing the first game, being up, or Trademark being up 1 game. I would not be surprised at all for Stay Green to take the next 2 games because of how resilient they are as a team.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to just how strong they are, being able to keep their morale up and finish out the series.
Yeah, and again, it's just the extra little flavor, you could say, is the fact that knowing that Chessie will be added to this roster going into the next cycle, and they're all going to be living in Miami and whatnot, and it is kind of scary, thinking about that. But with that said, big shout out to Skyzo for stepping up here. Once again here for Stay Green and making big plays, helping his team at least stay in it now for the grand finals. Maybe even better things. We'll see. But anyways, okay, so we look at the game. As far as the lock-picking stage, it ended up being Keeper into Tempest for Wretched Hag, Pebbles, Moraxis, then the final one being Plague Rider. The banning stage, Draconis, Fade, Tundra, Moon Queen, Silhouette, and Nymphora. So Moon Queen does eventually get banned, but in the regular banning phase here. First pick Engineer, though, coming out from Swindle Mounds.
Can't say I'm surprised. This hero is extremely strong, especially when paired up with, like, say, a Magnus or a Pebbles or something of that nature. Hammerstorm as well, as we've seen from Lions and Complexity specifically. Love to run that dual lane mid. But just an overall fantastic hero. You can never get upset over an Engineer pickup.
Yeah. So now it's over to Trademark Esports, of course. Now there are options to see. That's actually right-clicking the Luna there. So possible support option coming out for them, and Glacius also on the board for that matter. But the Tundra ban again. Tundra is just he's had it left open and not picked up lately. It seems like, or he is banned.
I know.
I still find that funny how that happens to be the case. But yeah. So again, going to think about it here as tdM using some extra time. Obviously, you got heroes like Jirazaya. You got your the junglers and a War Beast Legionnaire. Granted, you do have a Keeper and a Tempest in that lock pool, so Demented Shaman, haven't seen a whole lot of him. I know especially SG, Swinamon specifically, he loved playing that Demented Shaman in kind of a solo role. And even with now the Zephyr kind of coming up, granted he's banned this game, that combination can be powerful. Anyways, Dark Lydia Luna are going to be the pickups here for Trademark.
I'm expecting tdM to kind of go back to the roots, so to speak, of a strong dual lane mid with the Luna, perhaps Meraxis, or even Pebbles. They could go a Luna Pebbles mid, Dark Lady solo short, and then they'd maybe pick up like a Suicide here, and then go for a jungle plus one of those initiators like Pebbles or Meraxis in mid. So if they pick up a Suicide here, like Pharaoh is there, Bubbles is there as well, then their lineup is set.
We'll see. We'll see what Swindomelons goes with as far as their next couple of picks. As you were talking about tdM perhaps, but yeah, you talked about the Bubbles being there. Bombadier's still there. Didn't work out too well last game though for tdM. I know Torture actually, Stay Green loves to run that Torture too, so obviously an option. You know, Tremble's actually a hero that, speaking of Stay Green, KZ used to run that quite a bit. Granted, I think that was more before Slicks eventually came on to the team, so with them kind of switching roles and whatnot, I guess that could have something to do with it, but don't see the Tremble anymore. I know that you actually stated that you're not a huge fan of the hero.
Yeah, ever since he got changed, it just seems like he doesn't have that much of an effect anymore, because Electrician's actually picked out
Master
right here. What's up?
Master of Arms.
Yeah, they could actually go Master of Arms with Engineer. That would be a strong... Well, there you go.
They love this combo, man. Again, I don't know if the synergy is really there, but it's just the fact that they pick up Electrician and Master of Arms together. This is like 4 or 5 times now we've seen this.
Yeah, we normally, when we saw them do it, Ophelia was in the mix as well as a lot.
True.
But I will say you can get Electrician pretty damn tanky with that ultimate from Master of Arms.
Well... So, again, in the case, unlike Lions, where they play more of the support style, in this case, Slicks will play Master of Arms, and he will definitely carry with it. He's showing that. So, Bubbles is going to be the final pick. I know you were kind of hinting at that for tdM, so kind of going back to their roots, as you put it. Back over to Stay Green. Will this be that keeper pick here? Yes, it is. Back over to Trademark. Sure enough, Tempest. And we'll see here.
Probably Pebbles.
Yeah.
I would say Pebbles, but actually with tdM, they pick up Meraxis a lot.
Yep.
They run Meraxis a lot, and they're going to have the Plague.
Huh.
Okay,
What
so
does that mean?
That means probably a solo mid Bubbles, dual lane Dark Lady, Aluna top, and then securing the farm on the Dark Lady. Maybe transition after some time for Luna to mid to help out Bubbles, and then so they have double deny. I'll tell you, double deny is pretty strong, and then just having some decent team fight between Plague Rider and Tempest is always strong, and Bubbles as well. So. I thought for sure they'd pick up an Initiator like Pebbles or Meraxis.
Pebbles is actually going to be the final pickup over Stay Green right there. So they'll gladly take Pebbles themselves. As that pops up again. But it looks like both teams are good to go. We got all 5 heroes on either side, and we are ready to go here to our next game. Again, it's a 2-1 series lead, as you see on your screen so far. In favor of Trademark here in this best of the 5, but Stay Green winning the last one, trying to force a final game here with a victory here as well. So countdown commencing. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now loading in that Master of Arms, especially excited to see that, not going to lie, for Stay Green. But you are going up against, it, as you put it, more of just a traditional lineup for Trademark Esports. Albeit, they did kind of finish off very interesting there with the choice to go with the Plague Rider instead of something like that Pebbles or Meraxis. But yeah, kind of as you were talking about, seems like that Dark Lady, is that a new skin, by the way? The Dark Lady skin. I don't know if I've seen this one, actually. Huh. I don't know if I've actually seen this one. Maybe I just haven't
Blessed
noticed,
Dark Lady? Is that what it is?
I don't know. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Blessed. Or Glorious, I think is what it is. Glorious Dark Lady.
I swear, I have ADD when it comes to new skins. I just get so intrigued by them. Anyways, they are going top. Obviously on the minimap, not really going to run into anybody. Same thing for Plague Rider. He's actually playing very timid here. Zai's like going back and forth, back and forth. Almost expecting somebody to be here, but you're fine, Zai. You're fine. Nobody's there.
Slicks gets pulled a little bit of regen in the bottom lane. He's going to be going solo up against the Plague Rider. That should be an interesting lane to watch because it's somewhat even, honestly, with Plague having the good nuke ability, and she's just Plague Rider is just such a great solo hero. It is in the short lane for Slicks, playing that Master of Arms, so in that sense he has a little bit of an advantage and also has the pooled regen, so he should be fine in the bottom lane, but Zai definitely has the potential to outplay and win this lane because Plague is so strong in that 1v1 matchup. Top lane, we have, it is
Probably a solo electrician.
Probably a solo electrician, yeah. He hasn't been pulled regen or anything. And then we're going to see this dual lane mid of Engineer and Pebbles, which is so damn strong. They spot out the ward, actually, where Skyzo was placing. And hopefully they counter that, because it is going to block that medium camp right there on the Hellborn side. And they also get the ward up right there as Luna just kind of watches him. But dude, he's too tanky. They don't have enough heroes there. And then also Z-Freak playing the Keep the Forces, using those animated trees to get some lane control there for Keizu, playing that Suicide Electrician.
I find that interesting how, really, when you just think of shifts in strategies when it comes to competitive HoN, from hero pickups to how the laning phase goes to stuff like that. You know, for the longest time, for one, getting these aggressive ward of sights down to blocking the camps, it never happened for the longest time. It really didn't. Obviously, there have been changes maybe as a result of that. I know the rev change was a big one for that, but then there's also the fact with the polling. You know, you got heroes like Warbeast, Keeper is obviously a prime example, and Wildsoul for that matter. You know, pulling these creep waves in those long lane setups and making it more difficult as a result. So we never really saw that before. I mean, until it started happening. You know, as of late with this kind of meta, as you can call it, but. Anyways, kind of a side chat right there. Electrician is going to be spotted by Aluna, so he'll be forced to kind of, well, actually going aggressive himself. But yeah, Electrician, you said he didn't get pulled to regen. He does have the 6 tangles as well as the health potion, so still has plenty, but don't expect him to have too good of a time here at the top lane.
Right. The mid lane, I will say that this is pretty suffer for Bubbles, but he did get denies. Or I think just one deny from Tempest, which got him some lane control in the beginning. If he had not had that, the lane would not have pushed up, and he wouldn't be getting these levels that he's been getting. Actually has 4 CS under his belt as well, so he's getting a lot more than he should, and you got to credit the denies coming out. I don't think they used 2, like I said. I think I'm assuming Zai used 1 for himself in this bottom lane, but regardless, 1's enough, and it's getting him these good levels that he needs.
Yeah, he did. I didn't actually spot it, but he was down here getting that ward of sight placed eventually. So I find it very hard to believe that he went all the way mid and then all the way back bottom. So yeah, probably just denied it for himself. But speaking of that, I mean, you see the matchup down here. Actually, Plaguewater's the one going a little bit aggressive. So you talked about the possibility that Plaguewater could actually have a pretty good chance down here. So far, you got an 8-1 Master of Arms against a 10-4 Plaguewater, actually. And again, the Contagion nuke coming out, so he is keeping up the harassment quite a bit. Zai's playing this pretty well, it seems like, here at the bottom lane.
Yeah, I haven't been watching him too much. I'm watching this middle matchup, but yeah, I gotta say though that Bubbles is getting a lot more than he should. There is an Invis Engineer up top. The static charge actually used by Electrician, and Luna's caught in a bad place right there. The Bloodlust comes out onto Fitsky, so a big Bloodlust there coming out for Keizu, the Suicide Electrician, using the Invis from Engineer also. But they did spot that out. They should have known that Engineer was up there.
Well, I reacted there to, as you put it, Aluna got put in a very difficult spot right there. So you got to give credit to Sky. So he placed a kick down very well on top of it. Easily stuns target, of course, with the static grip. Which, by the way, in itself, I mean, honestly, Electrician he pretty rarely goes a static grip at this early on. He usually levels up, the W and the E, and then may eventually pick it up. But knowing that they had a kill chance, went for it right there, and sure enough, gets it. So yeah, very good placement and very good play between the two even.
Yeah,
and very deserving of the Bloodlust kill. So
I still have to say though that they had full vision of that. They had full vision of the Engineer coming up. They even had a counter ward actually placed right here as they were trying to get rid of the ward that was placed, which it was. They did kill it and they did counter it. But so they knew full well that Engineer was invis. I actually think maybe he ran up the other way.
I think he went the river,
either way, they saw him pick it up. So that I feel like they should have played that a little bit more passively, at least until Engineer showed himself.
Yeah, maybe if anything, they didn't expect Electrician to have a static grip. I mean, going to that point. But as I said, Electrician clearly saw a kill opportunity, so leveling it up and sure enough getting it. Top rune is going to spawn. No, it's not. But Tempest will run into Engineer. Oh, it is going to spawn, actually. It was a double damage, but here comes Electrician, picked up by Tempest. While Pebbles joins the party. Keks are going to land. Down goes Tempest, and down goes Bubbles. Was it worth it? Probably not. A Suicide Electrician is now 3-0-0, farming 310 gold per minute. Not good start for tdM there.
Not good at all. And Slicks gets a solo kill onto Zai in the bottom lane. Things are just crumbling apart here early on for tdM. And well played by SG. They're a team also that really loves to control runes. I see this and I watch them do this all the time. They always have more than just 2 members, sometimes 3, sometimes 4 members constantly checking runes. Keeper checking bottom. 2 members. Oh, Limp does get a counter kill actually as the Bubbles porting down here and getting a kill onto Slick. So at least getting some kind of exchange right there.
Yeah.
And it is a solo kill, so that's good for him. Limp as actually kind of the shining star, so to speak, earlier on here. You do have good farm in a Dark Lady, though. But it's very early on, but great kills nonetheless starting out here for SG.
Yeah, so definitely good. I will say, though, I mean, again, you can't get too ahead because, as you pointed out at the very end, Dark Lady is farming very, very well. She is farming at 352 gold per minute. And once again, we all know what a farm Dark Lady can do. We've seen it many, many times. In fact, Sustainer, wow, Sustainer's already finished. Now, she isn't going boots yet, so makes a little bit more sense. But has a very early on Sustainer, so plenty of regen to work with. This double stack pull is going to be pulled, or actually make that a triple stack, actually, for the most part. Pulled by Aluna right here into the lane. So taking advantage of the fact that they counter delay. Look at the Electrician that he comes over, though, and at least tries to snipe a couple of creep kills, which I believe he did. With that energy absorption, which is level 1, actually. He's leveling up the electric shield. Not that that's odd or anything, just worth mentioning. But KZU is going to fall back as Aluna will put in some harassment. Tempest nearby, level 6, but here comes Engineer, actually. And Tempest being harassed by the minions there, so maybe a little bit careful. But Engineer trying to make something happen, perhaps. Doesn't look like it is going to be happening, though.
Yeah, they actually could have got a kill onto Electrician. He's not level 6 just yet. Dark Lady was looping around. And I thought that the Electrician was just running away, but he actually turned backwards. And they could have started out with a stun onto Tempest and then have the Taint Soul initiated from Dark Lady and then maybe look for an ultimate. Bottom lane. Oh, I thought I heard an ultimate going up and he just stopped canceling.
Thought about it. He was. By the way, speaking of the bottom lane, for one, oh, look at the flank coming out from Keeper of the Forest. He does have a root ready to go. Are they going to use it? Yes, they are. Here comes Master of Arms. The ultimate activated on him. The offensive Master's called. The Plague comes out, but it's not going to matter. Good trap really coming off of Z-Freak there on Keeper, guaranteeing the kill. And obviously Slick's doing plenty himself to get the kill as well. Great flank, though, in the end from Keeper. And now they can turn this into a push here. But I was going to say, especially before that kill, Slick's honestly has had, even with the kill that he got, his farm hasn't been the greatest down here.
Yeah.
It really hasn't. Now, this is obviously going to help, but something to note in the sense that it may be a little bit deceptive as how well he's doing. So
yeah, well, Zai was playing the solo lane really, really well, just like you said, very aggressively at first, but now with 2 deaths under his belt and the ultimate was used, he's going to have a huge hindrance on his farm. The top lane, or the bottom tower is getting pushed right here. Bubbles does port down. Can they get the deny? No, they cannot. Z-Freak does manage to get the last hit. He's trying to get a kill. The Shell Surf misses. This might be his demise. He take covers the stun right there. There comes the turret. I'm sure the Kexton will fall. He does use a kelp field, maybe looking to try to juke his way out. He already ported, though. He can't get out. Shell Surf is still on cooldown. He take covers actually the stun again. The Shell Surf is up again. Limp trying to make a great escape, and it looks like he will. So despite not getting the deny there, and could have got an easy kill on the Slick, still manages to get away.
Yeah, I think, yeah, so it's one of those cases, it's kind of like a dirt moment that turned into an actually pretty good escape for Limp right there. So not only could he deny the tower, which it was difficult, but he could have very likely got the Master of Arms kill. But in the end, he stays alive, so not the biggest deal in the world. Invulnerability going to be coming out here at the top lane. No ports, though, at least just yet from State Green, and I don't think they are. Electrician, obviously he wouldn't dare it. It is going to be taken out. Dark Lady continues to farm very well. Keep stressing that. 386 gold per minute now. She's got her boost, the Sustainer. I'm sure we'll see those earlier on. Ghost Marches from Noob G. So, again, very good start. And actually, Manut's on Tempest. He also is starting to shine up there as well himself. 353 gold per minute. But at the same time, you do have a Pebbles. Obviously, Swinamelon's playing the Pebbles here. He's actually now overtaken the top farm in the game at 390, and it has another 1360 gold saved up. So, as always, the early portal key going to be coming up here for Pebbles, it looks like. So, yeah. I keep going back to Master of Arms, though. I mean, if he really, again, his farm is just not there. 225 GPM, struggling early on.
22 CS, and
wow, yeah.
It's very, very low for, well, anybody at this rate, especially a short lane that's soloing against another solo now. They do have lane control now, even after pushing that tower, which is a mark of a very good team and just a top-tier team. Is even when you push a tower early like that, it's great to get lane control, because the last thing you want is just to put all your eggs in the basket of pushing that tower and then lose lane control, because then where would Master of Arms farm? He wouldn't be able to farm anywhere. So now he's still being able to farm in the lane, and they have the extra gold from that tower. Not to mention, Plague Rider can't really farm down there anymore because he doesn't have TP support that could come out from that Tier 1 tower.
Yeah. The top lane is being farmed up by Electrician, for the matter. He's taking advantage of the tower being down and getting a little bit of a push going on. So he has a pickled brain currently, and he actually has enough to finish a Ring of Sorcery if he wanted to, purchasing the Talisman of the Exile. So we'll see if that's something he gets, of course, especially on Electrician. It really is a core. In fact, there you go. The Talisman picked up. You see the Chuck there on the bubbles in the middle lane, but he covers it. So Not going to take any damage. Pebbles does have a haste rune bottled up, though, for another 19 seconds here. And again, he has about nearly 1,600 gold now saved up, so he's getting very close to that that portal key. But still not yet. Not going to use the haste rune, really, it looks like. He's going to activate it. Of course, he's forced to, but at least not just yet. Oh, he went bottom, but yeah, Illusion's picked up by Tempest.
Yeah, it's actually one of the best things you can do with haste rune is use it to secure the next rune, but Tempest was right there, right in time. Again, not the biggest of runes, but still was able to take it out. Triple stack Ancients, and they're all Predastars get taken out relatively quickly by the entire team.
There's a portal key.
Except for Master of Arms, and yeah, portal key is up now, ready to go for Swindlemelons if he wants to buy that. 10 minutes, pretty damn good.
Yeah, very, very good. It's especially when you consider Steam Boots and a bottle picked up on him. So, yeah, very, very good farm. And obviously, it goes back to, again, just really great teamwork. And not only triple stacking the Ancients, but also helping to make sure that he can kill them. So he's going to go back to base. He'll buy that. He'll also get a Homecoming Stone, most likely. And we'll see if Swindlemelons can get a kill right off the bat with that portal key, as you like to see in cases like this, for the team's sake, that is. Engineer level 4 still, so not really having the threat of the energy field just yet. But Electrician, again, with that Ring of Sorcery now, obviously for most heroes, not necessarily the most tanky builds in terms of item choices, but for Electrician it is, because the fact with that level 4 Electric Shield has the mana pool, in a sense, is his life pool somewhat. So having the Ring of Sorcery, very good. And also going to push it with the middle tower now. Keeper of the Forest is here, spawns the minions. Going in the background, he has Ghost Marchers, by the way, does Z-Freak, trying to maybe chase somebody down, but not going to be able to catch them. But this middle tower, it is going to fall pretty freely here. So Stay Green going to increase their gold lead that they already have now.
Yeah, and they don't have... Actually, you know what? They have not bad counter push between Aluna and Bubbles. Aluna's power throw is only level 2, though, because she is level 4. Does finally pick up her boots, but the push is still happening. Actually, Swindlemelon's looking to catch actually someone in the jungle of the Hellborn team. He's not actually setting up shop in mid, and they don't know that because they're just probably assuming he's sitting in fog, waiting for a pick in mid. But he actually does come back mid as they're trying to push this tower, and I think this is going to go down unless Aluna decides to transition here and start spamming it out. Okay, she is there and spamming it out, but is it going to be enough?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's a little bit too late, if anything. Yeah, this tower's going to fall. And that's another target. Pebbles jumps in the front ground, but no heroes there, just the creep wave. They'll clean that up and probably now go in retreat mode. So tdM, I mean, in a sense, they let them really push a secondary tower there. Really very minimal defense put up. So you now got, again, Pebbles not really getting a kill just yet with their portal key, but the fact as a team they were able to push like they did, now have a 3,500 gold lead as a team. And then you have Electrician, and obviously he started off great. He still is 3-0-0 actually, hasn't died yet even. His creep form was pretty much non-existent, but the fact that he got those kills helped him early on. And he is also going to start getting bulkier. And then you have Master of Arms. So Slick's still not by any means. In fact, he's 4th on his team still, only on 252 gold per minute. But he is going to start buying some time now. This is definitely the build he likes to go for. Gets the earlier on Energizer. And I believe he actually goes into that Nullfire next, if I'm not mistaken, with the first time. And actually, Nullfire, a couple things to know. So again, I always like to take a look at what it can purge. Yeah, and you got things in mind, like I believe it can purge Dark Blades for one against Dark Blade, and that's something to keep in mind. Of course, you got Plague Broder and his armor and whatnot. Other than that, I think that's it as far as
you can purge the silence from Song of the Sea off of one of your allies. True.
He might be in trouble, though. You see at the top lane, the Ark's trying to collapse on him. Can he actually get away? He does have that Master's Call. Song of the Sea going to be used right here. No, just out of range. There comes the Cutfield, though. And he Master's Call. Just use the offensive Master's Call. Actually, but Pebbles with that kind of playing his best ground. He got the fork lighting off just before he died. Bubbles is barely alive. He's going to run up to the side. He has the shells over in 3 seconds. Can they find Limp? 1 second. There's a shelter. No. Swindlemelons pounds his face into the ground and gets the kill. So at least they make it a 1-for-1 exchange. But I question the offensive Master's Call there, whether that was a misclick or not. Gotta think, maybe the red Master's Call might have saved him.
I think I don't know, it could have been a misclick, but yeah, I totally agree with you. Had he used that, I feel like he would have lived, and the team support clearly was there. And if he kept living, that might have been like a cue for the tdM team to just stay there to try to keep getting a kill, which could have meant more kills for Stay Green. But nonetheless, they do get a counter kill onto Bubbles, and not to mention a counter tower as they're pushing the top tower. Mid tower, it's not taking too much damage, honestly, so not going to get a trade out of that. But yeah, again, more aggression coming out from the pushes of Stay Green.
4-1 tower kills now in Stay Green's favor, so another positive for them. You see now about a 5,200 gold lead. Helm of the Black Legion is actually getting built up here now by Electrician. In fact, he has enough for the life tube, so...
It's funny that he actually has way more farm than the Master of Arms.
Yeah, this is the Suicide Electrician in a 1 versus 2 that is doing much better than Master of Arms in that 1v1 short lane. That is, again, funny, so... Haha.
So funny.
Oh, boy. Tempest actually chasing down Pebbles. Yes, those Striders activated. Or is that a Hasten? Okay, that makes sense. That's a Hasten. I was going to say, they're still striding. No, he has a Hasten chasing down Electrician over here. Keeping the force also nearby. Does have a root, actually. Oh, they are going to initiate. Is this going to work, though? Here comes a root, most likely. Energy field already placed down. There's the root. Here comes Pebbles with a counter. Tempest and Bubbles will melt to the ground. Plague Winner, no Plague you. He's sort of the party a little dark, and he's like, I'm getting the hell out of there. I don't care about you guys. Aluna's like, suicide. Go ahead. Focus me, guys. He dies. Hat trick for Swindle Melons. We could see a quad kill, possibly. Plague Winner trying to juke, but Plague Winner will end up falling here. It's not going to be a quad kill, but it will be a quad kill for the team. Like I said from the very beginning, that was looking to be bad for tdM, honestly, and sure enough it was.
That's kind of like what were we thinking moments. The haste rune just faded also from Tempest, so I don't know if he was thinking that he had that for a little bit more time. And if he did, he might have been able to set up a three-man ultimate right there.
Middle lane.
But even then, yeah, middle lane, he's going to get actually... Oh, no. Oh, he actually does juke the stun. He's still going to get pursued there. The Chuck is there. Can actually Master of Arms cut him off. Noob G's actually looking to run the opposite way. Where is he going to go? He's trying to do some kind of juking. The toss is up another 2 seconds.
Jeez.
He has a blink up in 3, 2, 1. He will blink, and he actually does get the toss to cancel the TP. Noob G's in a lot of trouble. He's most likely going to fall.
Oh my god, it's so close.
So close.
One more portal key in 5 seconds. That should guarantee it. He does have a charging strikes. If he timed... Oh, no, he's going to get cut off anyways, what am I saying? Yeah, he timed it, but Keeper's like, haha, gotcha. Tag, you're it. Z-Freak gets the kill, and they also got the top tower, by the way.
Oh, my God.
I was wondering where the rest of them were. They were actually still pushing. Master of Arms and Pebbles were the only ones to pour back. It is falling apart at the seams here for tdM, and, you know, this is what I was talking about, the whole psychological mindset. Again, you know, maybe this just happens to be coincidence, but clearly Stay Green is outplaying tdM right now, and they are on the verge of forcing a fourth and final game here in this best-of-5 series for the Grand Finals if tdM doesn't calm it down quickly.
Yeah, and, well, a couple things, too. It's trying to regain my train of thought is... Oh, yeah, they were running in there, and I thought if the haste rune was still up for a couple more seconds on Tempest, he could have maybe got a three-man hole, but even then, Pebbles was right there ready to go.
Yeah. And
you obviously have no shrunken head up on the Tempest, so that doesn't matter. And the energy field was placed as the rest of the team was committing. He got caught into it. The keg pushed him even more to the an awkward side of it. It was just really one of those what the hell were we thinking moments. So, and again, I have to touch on this. I'm sorry, but I really do feel like tdM is one of those teams that takes a loss way too hard and way too harshly. I've seen it in the past, and I'm maybe seeing it here this series as well. But I mean, yeah, Stay Green's playing fantastically. Don't get me wrong, but this is not really like the most well-playing tdM team. If I'm trying to get myself correct.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, that's what I meant. So that's all I'm saying.
Again, you got to be careful in that, of course, in the sense as you're trying to point out there. It's nothing again. It's not like Stay Green. They're just getting lucky here. I mean, they are playing very, very well. But I agree with you. You know, tdM again. Whether it's the whole psychological mindset of they were up 2-0, they lost that game. Now here they are on the verge of getting to a final game when they had it in their grasp. But in the meantime, again, Stay Green, they're playing beautifully, both in the last game especially. Now, even in the first game, they played great, of course.
They did. They played very well.
They came out on the losing end, as did tdM for that matter. I mean, both teams, again, they've been playing a fantastic series here, and obviously we don't mean negative of either team in the long run, but, you know, saying it like you see it in the end. Bottom tower is going to fall right here in favor of Stay Green, so even more momentum. 12,000 gold lead now. On top of that 5,500 experience, so look at some items that have been picked up especially. Keeper just finishing a barrier idol for 1.
Look at this GPM.
Who's
Keepers.
Wow, 486. Where the hell did that farm come from? Z-Freak, man.
He must have gotten credit for all these tower kills.
How much tower damage
I see a tower kill right there. I see a kill onto a hero right there.
He has 40% tower
damage. He's gotten 4 towers. Look at this. If you just press Z and look up, tower kill, tower kill, tower kill, tower kill.
Wow, you're right. Damn.
So that on top of him being 2-0 and 4 in this farming has 103 CS.
He needs to go Brutalizer.
Oh God, no, please.
Jeff been spilled.
Please, God, no.
Anyways, so yeah, you have his farm. It's great. Electrician, again, Kazu's been doing phenomenal too as an electrician. 350 gold per minute. You see, he really is becoming very tanky. And also, by the way, Skyzo
picked up a blink.
He's had it now for a little bit too. It's not like this just happened here. He's even had it for 2 or 3 minutes. So he has a portal key on your bitch ward support. A portal key has been picked up.
Yeah.
At 19.5. Well, he had it again at 18 minutes or so. That is pretty absurd.
That is absurd. You compare that to a hero like Bubbles that you'd hope to have a portal key around this time, but is not very close to it. Initiates on a fist, he dies instantly.
Fitzky's like, what just happened?
Yep.
I blinked and I died. What just happened, guys? So Fitzky's down for 8 more seconds. Like I said, they have a barrier idol. They're probably going to use it right here. Or not. They're just going to push in, though. Nonetheless, as the plated greaves were at least applied, this middle tower, yeah, they're going to maybe wait for another creep wave. And they might not even commit to a full-on push by any means either. So
yeah, exactly. Well, Astrolabe Barrier's used. They could just use the barrier as the tower is falling, or they might just wait until they see the Plague Rider ultimate used. That would probably be the most effective thing.
Well, they aren't using it yet. They're just going to keep going, though. I mean, Electrician and Keeper are just so damn tanky right now. Especially, really, what can the Hellborn team do? You do have a Rune Cleaver on Dark Lady, of course. So speaking of good news for tdM, but obviously her damage output isn't necessarily the greatest right now. And I think Stay Green may just be happy, though, with the tower kill.
Yeah.
They might be falling back here.
I mean, it's whenever you pop that barrier idol, if it's at an awkward time or you know you're not going to get that much out of it, you kind of want to stay back and find a better time to use it. So he did pop that. They're going to fall back. They got the tower. They got what they came for. They still need to be somewhat aggressive with their lineup, but they have all the core items in the world for them. Pebbles, he's actually looking towards his trunk and head another 100 gold, so that could be the key to actually push into the high ground and finish those barracks.
And then, by the way, you have a Master as a quick blade. Like I said, something tells, from what I remember, I think he does go the Nullfire blade. In fact, there you go. There's a quick blade. We'll probably see a what is it called? An apprentice robe, I believe, and then the pattern on top of that. So to finish off that Nullfire, of course, the Energizer and the Steam Boots, he went first. There's that Sharknet that you talked about on Pebbles, and maybe this is the timing now. Up here, what's going on? Energy Field is actually using the Dark Lady. Wow, catching the tail end of that, but wasn't able to get the support in time. So a good idea from Skyzo, but unfortunately the supporting cast not there for him. Supporting cast not there for the support.
Yeah, and and I can't blame him because honestly, if you get a pick off on a Dark Lady like that, it's pretty huge. Normally at this time you don't save for buyout.
Yeah, of course.
Which she doesn't have. And she'd be dead because she's level 11 for, what, 30, 40 seconds or something, which would totally give you barracks. So, but they have big items now. Shrunken Head up onto Pebbles. That Nullfire Blade is going to be picked up onto Master of Arms any second. And, so yeah, still, they can just march right into the base and not have a care in the world. Keep it the Force. I think he was spotted out right here. Has lots of members up there. That they should be able to see him right now. Here comes, could just be an ultimate from Minos. He's not going to use it. He had to be more instinctive about it and just use it right away if you wanted to use it at all.
It would have been close, and at the same time, Pebbles is running up here with an Invis. So it could have been one of those cases where if he did get the ultimate off, they could have got turned on. So
of course,
it might have been a blessing in disguise. However, Tempest still might be in trouble here as the Invis Pebbles coming about. Oh, Tempest. Unless you have some amazing... Okay, actually, the illusion gets him to react. So a little bit surprised right there that the real Pebbles didn't maybe look to open.
Yeah.
But Tempest will portal key away, and he'll be fine. So illusion almost a bad thing there for the first one of Melons. But anyways, he stays alive. Okay, so we're talking a lot about Stay Green and the success that they're having for good reason. But, you know, calming things down, you look at Trademark Esports, and let's point out some maybe positives on their side. Like I said earlier, you do have a Rune Cleaver on Dark Lady. She's had it for a little bit now. She also picked up Mystic Vestments here. She has those Ghost Marchers, farming up nearly another 1,000 gold here. So she can and will really start jumping up in that farm. So yeah, if you're Stay Green, obviously you're in a very comfortable spot, but you do have to keep that in the back of your mind. But it looks like that, you know, with that said, they are going to group up here again and make yet another push. So I believe I just saw an Abyssal Skull, so just finished on Keeper.
So he's going the all-out support items and team fight items and helpful items for his team, which is good. I actually thought that a Blink could have been pretty useful here for him, not going to lie. But he's going to opt out of that, wants some more armor for his team, some overall good stats for his team. I think the name of the game for tdM is going to be get some push books up and protect your Dark Lady in these fights. You see one up on the bubbles. I'm pretty sure that Plague Rider's going to go for one as well, although I see Zai go for just a straight Storm Spirit a lot of the time as well. So either one of them will be fine. Just being able to protect your Dark Lady as much as possible in these fights will be very, very good.
There's the Barrier Idol. They're going to go uphill now into the melee rack. So here we go. This tdM, this honestly could be it if they're not careful here. The melee racks are dropping, but invulnerability coming out, so delaying it at least a little bit here. And again, Barrier Idol, of course, is down. It's not going to be up for another 40 seconds. It's another couple of creep waves, so probably, I mean, granted, the melee racks is actually below even 500 live, so it is very, very low. So we'll see if SG, even without the Barrier Idol, still look to really kind of commit to this push here, as they can really push it out pretty fast, especially with Master of Arms as you see. But so is the counter push. Darkly charging strikes right there. That was really close.
Yeah.
Very, very vulnerable spot. She kind of is lucky that she didn't get jumped right there. But the melee racks, it may fall. It's getting close to keep her minions. Yes, they are going to take it out. So Stay Green's happy with that, and now they're going to go to the top lane, it looks
I was going to say, they can honestly just go top. Like, the lane is already there. Barrier cooldown's up in 5 seconds now. And yeah, oh no.
That's what we're talking about. Dark Lady pushing up, puts herself out of position. Swinnermouse jumps in. There's a static grip in the back on a great energy field. Tabas ultimate will pull them in though. That is going to be a full duration. The Plague is passing around doing plenty of damage, but not nearly enough. Dark Lady falls. She ain't flying back, as you mentioned earlier. Out comes the root. Plague Rider will fall, and I think that could have done it. Stay Green may have just pushed them over the edge, and we could be heading to a fourth and final game. GG, well played. Trademark Esports takes game number 3, and ladies and gentlemen, that means we are tied at 2 games apiece, and you do the math. Best out of 5. This is it. We are in the final game now coming up here between Trademark Esports and Stay Green. Boy, oh boy, I can't believe it, but again, that Stay Green just simply outplayed tdM there in that game, man.
Yeah. I mean, they just, from the get-go, like Keizu getting those 3 kills to start off as a suicide electrician, and you have to go back to the beginning, and how did that start? Well, ultimately with the invis rune picked up by Engineer, he walked top. They had vision of him. They knew that he was invis. I would have played a little bit more passively, but they got the kill onto Fitsky right away, and it honestly just steamrolled from there. It really did. And then you had the double damage rune spawn up top, like, what, 4 minutes after that, and that's when we had a little bit of a team skirmish, and everybody involved in that from tdM died.
Yeah.
And also Master of Arms, despite him not having a good lane against Zai was playing very well, very aggressively, but the ganks were too much. And well, actually, I believe he got a solo kill first to start things off onto Zai, to start things off. But they basically lost every single lane.
Yeah. That was pretty crazy, man. I mean, I'm still, a little bit of shock, I'm not going to lie. I mean, you have a team that's up 2-0. On the verge of taking it all. You figure the momentum's all in their favor, especially after that way that first game was played out, and they got to be draining for Stay Green. No, again, you talked about that, the whole psychological mindset. Not only did they clearly not really let that phase them too much, they took the first game, and here they are taking this next game. We are going to a final game. That's ultimately what matters. Of course, we are going to take a short break here very quickly, and then we'll be coming back at you with what is going to be the very final game here of Cycle number 4. I mean, this is it. This is it. But Cycle 4 will be concluded after this game here. But first, we are going to take a short break. So Stay Green taking on Trademark Esports, the final game for the grand final. Cycle number 4 Diamond Division HoN Tour coming up next. Sit tight, guys.